journey will guide inside the ride where we fly. Virtual roads touch the sky. Join us here, don't be shy. Inside the ride, yeah, we hide.
Welcome to Inside the Ride by MyWhoosh. Back for another podcast, another episode. I've got a very special guest sat to my right, but to my left, first of all, let's bring in co-host Matt Smithson. We've been pretty excited about this one. And how does it feel to be like the third coolest guy in this podcast now?
I know, it's unbelievable. And there's been so many race wins in this group today, and I haven't contributed to any of them. So today's going to be really exciting with our guest that we have. I think it's somebody that's actually changed the sport, and I can't wait to talk about that. Somebody that's brought the sport from maybe some dark days through to making it as popular as it has now become. So, yeah.
No pressure to our guest.
No, not at all.
Absolute pleasure. Peter, welcome to today's show. Really grateful for you guys to join us.
Yeah, thank you very much. I can be here and to speak with you.
Well, look, we don't want to spend too long talking about the career. And if I listed out the 121 professional victories you had out through your career from 2009, to now, we'd take up the show just talking about those victories, I think. But I did want to ask about we discussed it this morning, right? And what our favorite moments were from your career. But before we sort of pontificate about that, I want to try and get from you, is there some victories out of that 121 that really stand out to you as the special ones?
Oh, I think I have a few of them. Like already 3 World Championship jerseys are very special. It's not happening every 5 years. But yeah, that was really special, and each one is a different parcours and different kind of the riders or was good or the rivals for that parcours, and it was always the very nice feeling after the finish, when you realize, well, I won again.
Yeah,
but they were really special for me. And after, I think also the Flanders and Roubaix is a very big victory for me that I appreciate that a lot. And 7 green jersey, I'm also very proud of that.
I'm glad you started with the World Champs, right? Because we were discussing all 3 of those.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing I said to you this morning is Doha was my favorite.
Doha.
Yeah. Just because, that second World Championships of yours, because with that wind and with what the Belgians and the British were doing on the front there, you were not in that original when it split, right? And then all of a sudden you were there, you got across. And that for me just stands out as like that epic moment of seeing you manage to get across in that last moment. Just seemed gutsy, gritty. You knew that was it, and you knew you got to be in there. It was, for me, that was the epic match. What about you?
It's funny. For me, I watched nearly every race that Peter's ever won. But there's one that stands out that's probably not as big to anybody else, and it's 2015 Tour of California, right? So I'm sitting at home in Australia. It's 3:00 in the morning watching these races, and at that point, Peter was becoming a big name in the sport. Already a big name, but wasn't maybe an all-time great. Everyone's like, is this guy just a great sprinter? Who's Peter? The sport, right? Now, I could have this slightly wrong. Second last stage, going up Mount Baldy, I think it was. Here's Peter, absolutely on his limit to win a race that is not at the level of green jerseys or world championships or whatever.
Yeah, but for me was Tour of California was always very special for me.
Okay.
And I like it, and I like the race because now they are not doing it anymore. But for me, I always wanted to do my best and to win maybe just some stages and to have the point jersey. But I never thought that one day I could win yellow jersey. That was also special. Like for my characteristic and my limits, what I have.
Yeah, it was just amazing as a spectator to watch. Like, you literally were on your limit. It was seconds, and many times there would have been no reason why you had to keep doing it, right? You were going to win the next day probably anyway. You'd won stages before that. And I think it was 47 seconds to Alaphilippe or whatever. And the camera would come back and it's like, you're like this. And it was just, I think that won so many admirers and so many fans that maybe just, and we'll say you're a sprinter. I know you're a lot more than that, but
Yeah.
sprinters don't always get. Yeah, and to me that's the highlight, and you're just glad I got to talk to you about it. It was awesome that day.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's I'm general rider that I'm going like slow in every course. Yeah. I am not the best sprinter. I am not the best climber.
But
Uh,
that's how you saw yourself racing. You saw yourself as I can do anything.
No, well, like definitely they told me a lot if I going to take my weight down, and if I going to lose weight, if I going to do better climbs and stuff, that I can win the Grande Giro or Tour de France or Giro or something else. That I said no, this is out of my limit. Like I never wants to do that. I never wants to sacrifice that I going to lose 5 kilos. You know that I am happy with what I'm doing and why I have to change something what is good. Like
Yeah.
why we are going to see, maybe I'm going to be better, maybe not, maybe I going to broke everything, and after what it's gonna be hard way to turn back on, you know. I feeling good for what I'm doing. I'm happy, and I'm not going to push over limits that I can just break everything, and after it's going to be a hard turn back.
Yeah.
And that I think in my career I did well, that I was always myself, and I just wanted to do what I was thinking that is important for me, and what my body and character, the physical characteristic, what I made the best. And that was always, I was thinking, just simple. Try to win at least, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 races per year. Try to do your best classics, because that is not like you are going to say, okay, today is the day, but you can be also unlucky. You can have a puncture, you can have a crash. Maybe tactics could be different, and everything can happen. But if I'm going to win 5 stages per year or races, then I am okay.
Okay.
And after year by year was more, and after important races I won, and it starts to be more and more valuable.
I mean, there's another reason why he mentioned that the Tour of California was his
Mm.
favorite. And I know you've been riding a bit in MyWhoosh, right? And I'm not sure if you've ridden in the California world yet, but didn't we base?
Yeah.
Matt's got quite a bit of influence here, I'll tell you. So he's Australian, so we've got the Australian world in there, and he's been talking about this Tour of California, 2015, I think it was, right? And you said that the climb that we built in there was based on what you saw up Mount Baldy, right?
Yeah, parts of the road on that climb. It's a little bit of a fictitious climb we've got in there, but parts of it are from Mount Baldy from that day. Because I would have never heard of that climb, but there's a couple of things in cycling that stick in my memory. And we're going way back, and that's up there with, Olano's win in the World Championships, I think in '96, sticks in my memory. So yeah, I've been around too long. But Peter, we talk about your skills as an athlete and your physiological capabilities, right? Your power, all of those things. But the skills you have on a bike probably won you as many races as the power and everything else. Your positioning, the ability to move through a bunch, sometimes without the best lead outs, that type of thing. So how could you, I have this theory that you're either born being able to do a wheelie or you're not. You can't learn it, right? So how did you have these skills that nobody probably has seen before or after? Why are you so good on a bike?
Well, why? If you take me if you compare me with the road cyclist peloton, then I could be good, like technically or the skills I could have better. But if you compare me with the mountain bikers, I am still in low level. That's the thing. Like I did mountain bike from since I was 9 years old, and all the time I was thinking until my 19, until they took me in professional cycling, that my future is gonna be on mountain bike. Like I never gonna be that good as I can be on the mountain bike, and you know, everything also has some price. Then I was training a lot, and also I want to have a fun with mountain bike. That like 2000, when I was 13 or 14, I wanted to switch for downhill, and I had a lot of crashes too, because I did let's say it was a good training, funny, but stupid things, because we also some injury that I was learning, you know, the part of the life.
Yeah. So then, so coming into a finish at 70 kilometers an hour is not frightening when you're doing downhill mountain biking.
Yeah, like you have to learn it when you are a kid, and you are still like a rubber man.
Yeah.
Older you get is harder to just you know, to go free, go with the flow, you know, and well, that's how I learn the things. But I am not really like, I don't know, stunt jumper on the bike, you know.
But I think the feeling for us is that you brought those skills to the road. I mentioned that bunny hop across that central reservation. I think it was the Vuelta. I can't remember where it was now. It was three of you in a break.
Oman.
Oh man, that's it. And there was three of you in a break, right? And I think
Yeah.
to cross it.
Nibali and Rigoberto, I think.
Yeah. And it's just one of those moments that stood out to me. And then, you know, the wheelies up the mountain passes, the one-handed wheelies. But it wasn't just those physical skills. It was the attitude and, you know, in a positive way that you brought to the sport. You mentioned this in the introduction, right? But if we go back to that Lance era and those darker days of cycling, and then we had a couple of years where, you know, things we just didn't speak about and ignore. And it felt to me, and it'd be interesting to get your perspective, that when you came into the sport and you added the fun, you know, and the cheekiness to the sport as well, that it kind of shone a light back on the sport for a lot of, you know, we continue to watch, but a larger community again. Did you have was that a purposeful thing? Did you have a sense of that happening, or was that just Peter being Peter?
No, that's true. I was coming from mountain bike world, and I can tell you, I always wanted to turn back in mountain bike. My last season this year, I wanted to be back on mountain bike, and in the community of mountain bikers is different.
Yeah.
Now is also you're feeling a lot of pressure, you know, from the teams and the tension what they have before the race. And but every sport is going in that way. Even like I was always I was admiring downhills guys. They were always like family. Like they compete in the race, but it's like time trial. You are not competing together. You are going just down alone. And after the race, they were everyone just make a party, and they did a big party after race, after party, and everybody was just you know, happy and friends. And if somebody needs help, that let's go here. You have the things, just take it, and after next time maybe I gonna need some help. Now these things are going out, you know, from the professional cycling. Like the humanity is a little bit missing in this, and especially in mountain bike, it's still nice atmosphere and nice like environment. You know, you are also in the nature, in the forest, or and there's the small community, but after on the road is getting very much professional, and the teams are really competing between each other. That is something that is also giving to riders like the serious position, and you know, to think about just this is my team and this is my own. But Yeah, I was still in a very nice period, but I was very lucky when I came to professional cycling that I just directly changed from a mountain bike to road. I was full of, young energy, and it was nice because also my dream has become true. That I was just in professional team that I never dream about because always I saw my future in the mountain bike. But after I was on the road and it was fun, new people. I changed country. I went to Italy for a living, like to live, and um, and I stayed there for 3 years. I met totally different people, and like different culture, and I started to learn also Italian language. And for me, it was a lot of good things what happened in that years, and I just see the world like I don't know if like if you think positively that everything is fine and good and nice, and I was in that mood, for a few years that like everything is nice and easy, and and it was, and also the team was very happy with me, after first, second, third year that I won some stages as a neo pro, and like 2013, I think I had my big like the most victories per year that I did, like 23 or 24, 23 victories or win stages.
Yeah, well.
And that was cool. I said, like, I didn't expect this, like like to ride like this in professional cycling. And that's, I mean,
We're saying,
like
yeah.
what's happened, how was Peter in that time, that was really me.
That's exactly what we saw.
Yeah.
And it's really cool listening to it because as an outsider, we saw this guy that was having fun racing his bike. And I think the sport hadn't had that for a long time. And, there was a time there where you were by far the most famous cyclist in the world, if not still are today. And it's because of that, I think, not so much. People have had victories, maybe not as many as you, don't get me wrong, but they're nowhere near as popular. They didn't change the culture of the sport, I think.
For me as well, it was the relationship between the riders, and that's a big change. Because we've listened to Lance's podcasts in the past, where those guys were like enemies. They weren't high fiving and hugging at the ends, And you've had some major competition over the years with I mean, Cav, one of my countrymen, for example.
Mm.
And I know there was the Tour de France incident, which I can't remember what year that was now either, with the crash. But I also know that you and Cav are great friends as well, right?
Well, we turned back, yeah, but it was also the thing, like what's happened, and like the last year in Japan, Japan, we had the talk with Mark, and we just discussed a lot of things what's happened during the career and stuff. Also, we didn't speak that much about the accident what's happening tour, but he explained me also how hard period he has in his life. He had in his life for it was not only the crash, but after it was another one crash, another one crash. That was the years without winning. Then the 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 family things. I don't want to speak about all this what they told me, but they also robbed his house and stuff, and he had bad period. And after he had to watch also for like medical help and stuff, and I understand that. And we were like after accident, we didn't speak each other for 5 years
Wow.
because he didn't want, and he asked me like don't speak to me. But I said, okay, Mark, I have nothing against you. If you want to speak about it, we can talk. If you don't, like, I respect you too much for just like I'm younger than you, and I always admire you, and I don't want to have nothing against you, and I just respect what you are saying, and it's okay. But after we have a talk, and and we understand everything each other that what's happened, and after everything, like we shake our hands, and we had some drinks in the bar, and we had good time, and we had fun, and yeah, we are friends. Like also Mark, I think he grows also in different kind of um, personality, like what he was before, and after all the experience what he passed and what he runs through is also different. He's looking the world from the different angle and stuff that I think we understood each other, and we are friends now. Yeah, like we are messaging each other. We call like if it's some event to do, like if we are going to do it together or not. Like we still gonna have something together for sure.
Yeah, I think my producer said he'd seen one of Cav's jerseys in your hotel as well, right? Or
Yeah, yeah.
museum, so
It is. He signed the jersey for me.
awesome. So one of the things we want to talk about is, because we've got quite a nerd when it comes to cycling equipment sat next to me, if I can put it that way, Matt.
Fine, mate. That's fine.
Is sort of the evolution of your training, and did you, because a lot of science came in through that time, and science changed, and ideas changed, but did anything change within your training through that 15 years of, from that professional career?
Well, just no, the training for me, like I was training that's the same thing. Like I always needed some advice or some suggestion from the person who I trust, and that was always some. It was my director, what was the director for Tinko after in Bora. After all, he came also with me to Total Energy, but he was a ex-rider, like in Slovakia, Jan Valak, and I always asked him for advice when I was training alone in Italy, and I talked with him about trainings and stuff, and I make some routine what I did, also from the start of the season or in the winter, after from the start of the season, after when I had a good base for the winter, I wanted from the team that I going to race a lot, because with the races I going to come in the shape, and that's just basic what I'm saying. But after I become professional, and the few years I was still training like that, and after the first trainer came, and he told me the very smart advice: if you are going to be better in the climb, you can win the more stages.
Yeah.
Good point. Seems broad. Seems broad to me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, but if I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to be better in the climb, maybe I'm going to lose also from the sprint. Yes, but if you survive more in the climb, then the less sprinter is going to be in the finish, and you can win the sprint with climbers, what is going to be more easy. I say, yes, but it's also more chance that somebody's came in the breakaway, or is more chance that I going to be 20s or 10s, and I'm not going to fight for win. No, but you're gonna have still the good number in the sprint, and we go, like, if you agree that we are start to train in this direction, that you are going to be good in more endurance, and more in the climb. And I said, well, let's try. It was the first coach who overtrained me. And I said, no, like, I don't want to train with you anymore. And 2014 was really bad year for me. Like, I didn't want that much. I won still some stages, but the classics and stuff was bad. And I signed the contract with Tinkoff, and it was the same thing. Like, when the coaches start to arrive, they were, they knows everything. But the thing is, like I believe coaches, and I think it's important for riders also, to talk with somebody who can advise them. But in that time, I think a lot of coaches was also learning how to train, 12, 13, 15 riders.
Yeah.
Because not everyone is the same, and
Yeah.
they look at the history of the numbers and stuff, and maybe for somebody is good this type of training, for somebody different type of the training, for somebody different. And that's very important that everyone, we are human being, like the same, but in the end, for everyone, we are different, It's the variety of the human beings, for everyone is something different good, right?
Yeah.
Somebody is allergic of the fish, somebody of the mushrooms, and you have to deal with that maybe you need less to be good, and something more you can be already overtrained, and somebody needs more to be in good shape. But well, 2015, from the start of the season, I also trained with the coach, and I was overtrained again during the classics and stuff. And I said, no, this is the point when I said also, like, why you are changing something, what it was good.
Yeah.
Like, it was good, and every year I was better and better and better by the years. And after 1.5 year, I was just broke.
So you were one of
And
those. Sorry, you were one of those riders then who was willing to have a discussion with the coach and push
no,
back
I
sometimes.
I didn't. After the experience, what I said, the first thing that in coach in Cannondale, and also the first coach in Tinkoff, I can say also name, but the when the problems comes, all responsibility was on me. Then
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Cannondale was a little bit easier, because I had history in Cannondale that I was winning all the time, and it was like, okay, one season is okay, we can like skip it. The next season you're gonna be good again. But next season I signed with Tinkoff, and Oleg was not happy about my performance in classics, and I started to have a discussion with him after the classics, that what kind of rider I am. Well, he had also true, but on another side, I said, like, from the team, I have this coach. When he wanted to train me, we had a discussion. He's going to help me also mentally, because I have no responsibility of my performance. Like, it's gonna be all bad things on him.
Yeah.
But after, the team was blaming him. He said Sagan is already done. Like, he's 25 years old, and he's already, like, squeezed during the 5 years. He did everything. He's not going to be better anymore. Like, what he done is already the maximum what he done.
Yeah. Well.
And this, when I heard from the staff of the team, I came to him and I told him, like, I never want to see you again. Like, thank you for your responsibility, all the shit you put on me, and that's okay. Like, this is what we were talking about in December in the first training camp. Then I really can see now that I can trust you. Then I don't want to see you anymore. Thank you very much. We don't have to speak anymore. And after that, I had to do like reset. I didn't touch bike for 2 weeks after, because I didn't know what is happening with me during the races, that I am very strong for 200 kilometers, and last 20 kilometers I just turn off. And it was not about missing sugars or energy, or that I didn't eat or something, because I was eating constantly. Like, what I know, every half an hour I did something, and I was feeling very great. And from one moment to another, I just saw like black and white, and I didn't know where I am.
We know that feeling.
Yeah.
I get that every 30 kilometers.
And after that, I came to Tour of California, and I won GC. Then
And then backed it up with 3 world titles.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
that's a pretty strong. I want to stay on that training aspect, but I want to bring it now, modern day as such, because you've got different interests now. You've got foundation, you've got your commercial work as well. You've got a son at the same time and a family, right? So
7 years ago.
yeah, you were a little older afterwards, yeah. Or than point taker. Yeah. But we're not even average cyclists nowadays, but we're busy guys like you, right? And I guess you're not. You might still be doing 4 or 5 hour days training, but I guess your training has changed quite a bit. So there's a couple of things there of how is the training changed now, because you've got a balance. I mean, we know you're still doing, you did the ride across the ocean, as it were. You're still
Yeah.
riding the Titan mountain bike events and lots of different things, but you've got lots of other things. You're here in the UAE with us now. What's happening now training wise, and is there any sort of bits of advice you can give to two middle-aged guys, based on 4 or 5 hours a week of what should we be doing to try and get it? You were talking to me about you're doing daily sprints, or once a week you're doing sprints now. We're going to get some tips from Peter.
I need some.
So how has it changed, your training now?
Well, it's a very big difference, and I feel it mentally that I am relaxed. Like how the sport and cycling's changed last 10 years. That and also I think responsibility and stuff, like when you are young and you have nothing, and you just start the day, you just sacrifice everything for the sport to get better, to do your best, and after responsibilities are coming, like you said, family, maybe house, responsibility for your results, responsibility for people, responsibility for events. Then it's just you know just gaining, and
Yeah.
after you have just maybe too much. But the thing is now, before was my like bread making, that I was cyclist, I knew what I have to do. It is some balance of okay, sometimes you can relax, but also the the constant training and discipline that you have to, what is your routine or schedule for the day is mm, before breakfast you are going to walk, or you are going to do some exercise, or you are going half an hour on the bicycle. Every morning after you have breakfast, after you go on the real training outside, 5-6 hours, 4.5, 5-6, depends from what period of the year or the preparation you are. And after that you have your schedule just to eat what you need to eat, not the stuff what is not going to help you recover or something. The carbs, some fruit, some protein, and after you resting, and you are maybe doing massage, 2 or 3 times per week, and then you are already thinking about next day because you are going to bed, sleep, and next day is going to be same routine. Then that was what the athletes are living, I think, for their career. Now is different, because now I don't think about how much I'm going to do on the bike. If I want to ride, definitely I like to go with friends and just to get somewhere, drink coffee, turn back. The 1 hour, 2 hours is okay, but I don't want to ride more than 4 hours.
Yep.
If I have to ride more than 4 hours, then I have to go for events, with people, to do Gran Fondo, to ride Titan Desert, what I did. Or now we've been in Ibiza with people to ride, and one day we did 110 kilometers. But first day we did only 30 kilometers, and this doesn't matter for me.
Yeah.
That I am happy. If I can go hiking to the mountains, I go hiking to the mountains, and I don't think about tomorrow I'm going to have pain in my legs, because as a cyclist, I never did it during the season. I did it in the winter, but during the season, I hardly walk, like I always use bicycle, motor, or I never walk. And I like also another sports. Then I just trying to enjoy, different sports.
So tell us a bit more about that then. What other sports? Is there other sports that you're doing, or is these sports that you're just a fan of? What engages you now from from a sporting point of view, outside of cycling?
Oh, well, I like to go on moto, like enduro and stuff. I going to gym. I can ski in the winter, snowboard, surfing. Then I have a lot of sports what I can do like, to join.
Dream life to
Yeah,
me.
sounds good.
And my son is getting older. He's already 7, and he's also able to do already almost every sport. That I love to spend time with him and to play with him.
Yeah.
And he did last year also football. He's doing tennis, the table tennis, and we can have a lot of different activities together.
Does he like cycling?
He likes cycling, but not on the roads, and and I think definitely not as a competition.
That's one of the things we talk about here at MyWhoosh is about young people riding
Mhm.
and the ability that you can now ride indoors, be entertained, and be safe.
And be safe. Yeah, that is most important in, I think, for parents and for kids now in this period or this century, because when I was kid, like it was no problem to ride on the road, and I remember I was 8 years old, and I was turning from the school alone, and it was like 20 minutes walking to pass like two big roads with a lot of traffic, but it was also no problem to ride bicycle. Now I never thought about that before, but when I see how Marlon is going on the bicycle outside,
Yeah.
and to just leave him alone, that is gonna, like, I gonna overthink about it. Guys.
Yeah. I
He's
learned that.
I going to be worried about him that it's much more cars, there's much more accident, much more traffic. Like yeah, it's getting worse and worse for cycling to train and stuff. And when you are like, for sure you can find a lot of different small roads where there's no traffic, but just to get out of the city is gonna be already, yeah, and especially if you live in New York and different big cities.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of that with indoor cycling and MyWhoosh. And what I feel is it's giving a sport that we all love, it becomes more accessible to people again. So as you're saying, you live in New York, or even me, the middle of Sydney, or they now
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi as home. I can jump on my bike, I can ride with people around the world, I can do all of those different things that we couldn't do growing up. You had to, even now, I still enjoy riding outside, but if I've got to go out and do probably less than 90 minutes, I just ride in the trainer. I ride MyWhoosh.
Well, that's what I see also when I was already older and stuff, that it's very comfortable. Like, also as a professional athlete, like, I didn't, the last years what I was training, I didn't went for a ride bike before the breakfast. I just jump on the home trainer and I ride 30-40 minutes, because I knew that there is no sense to go outside to just put the clothes, and after I stop I going to eat breakfast, and after I go again. And I did my 30-40 minutes before breakfast on the home trainer after I got the clothes, and after I went on the ride. And even if you have like easy day and stuff, like, you can do whatever also on the home trainer, and it's much more interesting when you have a platform like MyWhoosh, and you can have a screen and entertaining you while you're riding, and you can ride also with different people. That's already very nice, but also you don't have to carry, like, you don't care about weather outside, you don't care about, oh, today is Monday, it's gonna be a lot of traffic, or you don't care about, well, today nobody's going to ride with me, because on the platform every time you're going to find somebody.
Yep.
And you can do very comfortably the different exercises, different effort. You just put in the system, like what training you wants to do, and is going to do everything automatically. That something what is very comfortable, and you are saving a lot of time. Like if somebody says, I don't go on the bike because outside is 10 degrees, I have to wear clothes. After I go on the bike, after I have to put it down, I have to take a shower. And 1 hour cycling is going to take me 2 hours. Just preparation.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you just jump on the home trainer and you train 1 hour, easy. And after you go to work.
Yeah, exactly. And if I had an hour and I had 5 minutes with Peter, and Peter said, what session could I do? What would you say to our listeners? You've got 1 hour to train. You've got 1 hour on MyWhoosh. What training should I do to be better and faster and to outsprint my mates on the weekend bunch ride?
You are not going to make it in 1 day or in 1 hour or one training. That what I can tell you is just don't worry about what kind of training, but because a lot of people are like riding and they have no time. They are busy with the business and work and stuff and family. And it's okay if you have 1 hour per day that you can ride. It doesn't matter. Depends how you feel and what you feel, what you want to do. You are going to get better, but you are not going to get better if you go once per week on the home trainer or on the bike, even outside. Like I think most important to be better is constantly training, every day 1 hour, do whatever you want. Like you can have a coach and he's going to make you some efforts and stuff like every day. Okay, you have 1 hour and you do. But if you have no feeling, like I'm tired, I have no feeling, take 1 day rest and after make 6 days training, 1 hour. But if you want to do effort or you are angry from the work or something, let's make some efforts and some training that you are going to put it out of yourself, your stress and energy, the bad energy what you have inside. And when you are relaxed and you are like, I don't know, today I'm not very about big effort, just ride bicycle.
Yeah.
But make sure that you are going to ride on the trainer or on the bicycle every day.
That's
But just 1 hour.
it's
If you don't like to go 1 hour, go 40 minutes.
He only wants to do the 1 hour a week. That's not what he wanted to hear.
No, it's so nice to hear you saying just ride the bike,
Yeah.
right? Because that's why we're all sitting here today, because we just like to ride the bike. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but that's the point. Like you have different athletes, like they are doing triathlon. After you have amateur cyclists, and they are living for competition. They are literally living like they are can't wait to go in and participate in competition. And after everybody are thinking, like I'm going so fast, like Tadej Pogacar, like and stuff like that. I'm strong. Maybe I can compete also. But they are already like in some kind of way they are training every day 4 or 5 hours, and they can go competing and stuff. But if you don't have time for a 5 hour trainings and you have different business to do, like
Right.
you have only enjoy ride bike.
no,
Because after when you don't enjoy, you are not going to be consistent, and after 3-4 months, you are going to hate bicycle.
and I think that's probably the best advice that I've ever been given, and I've heard that before from other athletes. It's just get on, ride your bike, enjoy doing it. It's not our job, and I feel sometimes.
Yeah, it's just to do something for
Yeah.
your health.
Yep. But
Every sport is good. That's why I'm not talking just about cycling. If you like swimming, go swim. If you like to go to the gym, go to the gym. If you would like to go hiking, go hiking.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And just coming back to the cycling thing, and it just made me think about the changes in the sport. And I think indoor cycling and MyWhoosh it's not something that was around when I was younger, even when you started. And that's a technological change, and it brings more people in. They can do their hour, they can take their aggression out, they can have the fun, the entertainment that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of our viewers would love to hear about you were around with the transition of bikes. So bikes went from you're racing on 22, 23 mil tubular tires, rim brakes, carbon wheels were just coming out that were reliable, through to what we finish with, I think, SL8 tarmac we're at now that you're a part of. And how much has that changed? How much did that change the sport? Safer, faster? How do
Yeah,
you
it
feel
is
about it?
like material, what you using and how it's developed, that is very important. I think it's like in the end it's count a lot. If you take Formula One, they have a lot of power in the car.
Yep.
And they are fighting about 1 to 3 kilos. Like at least the pilot in the car, they have to be fit. They are going to gain 1.5 kilo more during the winter or out of competition, and the formula is going to feel it. The driver is going to feel it. The 1.5 kilo. Can you imagine that you have the seven? Yeah. How much is a bicycle? 6.8 kilograms
Yep.
limit.
Yep.
And you pushing your power in the bike. That's how much you are going to feel 1.5 kilo on the bicycle. That you are pulling it naturally, not with engine.
Yep.
And then material is also like from like 14 years ago, the development of the bike, they were study a lot like how to lose weight from the bike, like where we are going to save the weight. And that was like a little, like the bicycle, you can see how was before, how heavy they were, how the wheels were turning. And after that, they are studying a lot, tires, what is rolling.
Yep.
That is important. Where you are going to put weight, if you are put it in the top of the bicycle, or you are going to put in the bottom bracket, or you are going to put it on the rim. Now everything what is turning, and you save the weight from the turning, you have to put it more in the center. That is going to, the feeling is going to be that you are pushing less. But from the heavy bicycles, they become very light bicycles, 6.8. And after what they starts to do during my career, they starts to study what is different in aerodynamic.
Yep.
But that's kind of very interesting when you think about it. If you are going 20 per hour, you are not feeling anything. But if you have to ride that bicycle and your old bicycle 60 per hour, that's the new bike is just different. Like what I want to explain is just old bike, you are going to ride 60 per hour for, I don't know, 30 seconds, 1 minute. On the new bike, the aerodynamic, what they made and what they study, for example, you can ride it 5 minutes.
And that's interesting. So I hadn't thought of it like that, because
But the bicycles, the old one and new one, you can 20 per hour, you are going to, you don't going to feel it.
And so the speeds you're racing at, you could really tell how much faster the bikes got over that time. So the last 5-10 kilometers, it's faster and faster and faster with
No,
the bike.
don't make it. You have to still pedal and
Yes,
you
of
have to
course.
push. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But the thing is, you are not realizing that you are going fast because you are doing same effort.
Yes.
You still going to be 180 heart rates with old one and new one. But after when you see data, you are going to see in the same moment, like I went faster or I save time. Where I save time? You didn't. You did the same effort. You did everything the same. The bicycle is faster, but you don't feel it on the bike because you are still blowing up because you are in my maximum effort.
Yeah, you still feel like you're on your limit.
Yeah.
It's allowing you to do that. And for you, disc brakes, rim brakes, big change, or your skill didn't matter to you so much?
If it is big change, if you can imagine, if you have in the car again, if you are going to have old brakes or the normal brakes and then ceramic brakes, that with the normal brakes, you are going to do 2 laps on the circuit. It's not braking that good, and after you have to stop because they are overheat and they are twisted and they are, you know. Then when you have ceramic brakes, then you can ride 20 laps, and after you need to stop to rest, then after you can continue again. And there's just a and the brakes is not going to have problems that they are losing power of the braking. That's a big difference that what allowed you on the bicycle to just start to brake like in the late moment before the corner, and after that you can ride bicycle much more aggressive, you know, that you can really compare after how the riders are technically. Like somebody is going to hold it and somebody not, you know, that is you can see after the big difference who is better in the downhill and in the cornering
Okay.
that before because before you couldn't trust the brakes.
Right. Yeah. There was.
It was overheat, it was wet, it was totally different braking, you know, and the rims just get hot after it was no braking or it was too much braking and you didn't know like what is going to happen.
Yep.
That everyone's was more careful, and it was maybe in one part was also safer
Yeah.
because everybody went down a little bit. Like if somebody was crazy, he could make a difference, but it was not like you were careful with the old brakes, you know.
Okay. That's interesting.
And these brakes now, you can trust them, and you can push the limits, but not everyone can push the limits in the downhill or yeah.
It's not a way I'd looked at it before, that there's a bigger skill gap now with disc brakes, where the bike was the limiter probably before to show the skills. And just
Also, when you see the crashes now, it's not because maybe also sometimes they are going fast or not too fast, or they sometimes not. It's just some of the riders, like just from nothing, somebody starts to brake, and the first guy is going to brake, is going to brake. After one guy, he just realized like they are braking. He just um like come si dice spaventare? Is- Yeah, he's going to be scary, or you know, in just moment that he takes the brakes, or he's braking too hard with the front brake, and after the wheel is just slip away.
Okay.
But that's also happening a lot. That you can see in the cycling that somebody's just scared, you know, that I have to brake, but don't brake in the corner, please. And somebody just touches the brake and he just go away. But yeah, that's happened a lot also on the wet road before.
Yep.
That on the wet road, just don't touch the brake. When you are straight, you brake, but when you are already in the corner, you don't brake.
He's always on the brakes.
Yeah.
You spend your life on the brakes. It feels like I need to be on one of these cafe rides because we could talk. You could definitely talk these technical things. I got so many questions about aeroframes and the handling, but I think we need to save that for a coffee ride.
So I think that's probably we've got time for today with Peter.
Yeah, Peter,
Yeah.
we really appreciate your time today. I hope you really, because we're going to put on a great show on Saturday. So hopefully the riders, the show, I hope you really enjoy the show. Really appreciate the time with us. I know the riders are also going to look forward to meeting you later in this week, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure to be with you here and talk about interesting things.
It's unreal. Been a highlight of our cycling career sitting here today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, and join us again for the next episode of Inside the Ride by MyWhoosh.
Journey will guide inside the